Hey you, it's been a while. So before I start this video off, how to pick winning collector coins, I'll just mention a quick mention because I've been very absent even on responding to emails via my email or on Instagram or even some of my comments in the videos. I've recently become a new dad again, so all those that know the joys of parenthood and early ones. So the baby came a little earlier than expected, so it threw me off and I've been tied down with that. So just letting everyone know that I am still here. Won't be as regular as usual, but once I get back into the swing of things, we'll be backing up. But just letting everyone know. So that's where I've been. If I haven't responded to your emails or messages or comments or been delayed, you know, I'm going through the joys of that at the moment. So shout out to Crave That Coin, my boy Giant Jack, for being very observant. But yeah, so jumping straight into this one here, how to pick winning collector coins. I've had a few inquiries. I've done videos on this before, but I've also got some unboxings, so I'm going to get it all done in this video, so it may be a bit of a long one as I'm not really doing too regular. But it's just going to go over some tips and tricks for picking up collector coins, how I go about picking up collector coins, and my advice I'd give to anybody just getting into this. I've had a few people recently ask me, you know, the best way to pick them and what to look out for and stuff. And I think I'll start off with that and saying there is no formula. There is no special method of picking out a fantastic collector coin. It's always, it has been and always will be, in my opinion, trial and error thing. You know, if it was as simple as 1, 2, 3, everyone would be doing it and everybody would be gaining from it come time of the flip or whichever. If it's a case of you wanting to flip, I've put it out there many a times that I'm a cowboy flipper, then there really needs to be a lot of due diligence on your end. It's not as simple as 1, 2, 3, but there are little key points to look out for, and that's what I'm going to go over. But I would say the best thing you could do is not walk into this assuming or thinking it's going to be a hit off the bat, because all things can match up and you can just have a sitting coin. That's just going to be on the climate and how it is right now, money going into collector coins. So I'll touch on that also, and where I see it and how I think it is and just what I've done. Now for me, I'm going to be focusing on mainly here the Royal Mints, as I've got the unboxers here and the coins here, and the Perth Mint. Those two, because I've seen best opportunities within these two. Of course there's been the Maya Mint with the Rwandan coins, but I'll get onto those another day. And I know there's a lot of videos I need to catch up on. Somebody had also messaged me on Instagram mentioning that, and I will catch up on a lot of the catch-up videos. So I'll jump straight into this and say the best for me via Perth Mint has been silver over gold. So picking up silver coins has always worked out better for me in terms of returns or flippability or flipping than the gold has. Why? I would say Perth Mint are hands down to me the best when it comes to collector coins for quality. They tick all boxes. You know, you're going to get your quality, you're going to get updated results on the mintage numbers. Majority of the coins, not the one I'm showing here, come encapsulated by standard. It's only very few, they're bullion coins, that don't come encapsulated, and they just go that extra mile. Personal opinions, but you'll find many may also agree that the Perth Mint are #1. Now for me, the best performing coins for me have been from the Perth Mint have been the silver coins. I've picked up the gold coins and they've been the ones that have more than likely been on the new 5K mintage, so didn't do as fantastic. Then they've been the ones, I'd say the biggest, and you know I did end up flipping, was the 2-ounce high relief Dragon Phoenix coin. Now that also did do very well, but after the experience I wasn't rushing into it anytime soon again. So as I wheeze off, for me it's always been the silver. Now moving forward, when it comes to picking a winner from the silver, their models have changed. You know, I'm holding a Kookaburra coin here. I can pretty much confidently say I will never pick up another new modern Kookaburra coming up from the Perth Mint. Why? Because the deciding factor here has been they also needed and saw that they needed to evolve and lowered it to the 50K mintage. that straight away knocks a lot of the older kooks out the window, especially ones that wasn't on strong designs. This was on a strong design. So for me, looking at it straight away, I'm going to be looking at the 50k coins. When we're talking about the 50k coins, I feel even from the big bad mighty perf, they've lost their luster a little. If you think about when they first brought out this one, this was the talk of the town, best of my knowledge, the first that came out under their 50k mintage, and that's the Dragon Phoenix coin. It was everywhere and anywhere. You know, people couldn't wait, and it landed running. It was just burning hot, getting a hold of them, and then we'll get onto the little issue with the errors after that in a moment. So it was just the talk of the town. They brought out the new model. Obviously, they brought it out for a reason. It's not like when we bring this out, you know, the rest of the 500 and 300k coins are doomed. They needed to breathe fresh air into their collector coins, and they done a good job. But you don't get that same hype no more, like the hype rush. The mintage is fantastic. I would say it's mainly so because the money, the big flip money, the big cowboy flippers ain't there no more in coins. You know, it just didn't deliver as fast as they wanted, so they've gone into other avenues and what be it. So you've had the Swan after that, you've had the Emu, you've had the, I don't know, the Birds of Paradise. All stunning coins. All coins I would only be looking at if I was to come back in now. I don't think in 2018 I didn't even do that many large purchases of any of these coins. You know, they're all performing well, especially from the perf. It's not going to be fantastic like, for instance, this or even the first one that is appreciated nicely, because it's the new norm now. So we're once again at a crossroad where what's going to be the next thing? Well, I would say straight off the bat, it's going to have to be one of these 50k coins or even 25k coins that have got out. But you would really need to pick which one it's going to be. If I was going to be investing in anything perf mint, it's going to be those. I would say those, and if anything, the 2-ounce kooks. Because, you know, subconsciously they may have put us onto something when they stopped making them after 2009. For me, looking at where the kooks are now, they should have stopped doing them altogether in 2009. So they seem to have a nice little handsome appreciation over time as well. So the 2-ounce kooks for me, you know, I already have a complete set. So I'll focus more on those. There are other coins. Another thing I want to put out there, I'm not involved in all mints and all coins, so I can only speak on what I know. You know, there's going to be coins outside of this, as I mentioned in the beginning, that may do well. But for me, what's been strong and good and you can really stand by are the perf mint and the royal mint. Of course, there's other mints, but these ones have been my best flips. And I could give on to somebody and they could maybe get onto it. Not to forget, once upon a time, the Lunas was fantastic. Yeah, you'll find more individuals now with Luna coins at the time were burning hot, and they could have doubled or even tripled their money. Didn't opt to go with that, and now, you know, they may struggle to break even. So this is a prime example. So if you want to flip, another piece of advice I would give is, and it's the approach I'm now taking, is instant. You know, if the new coin comes out today, and this is my approach with specifically the perf mint here, talking on the silver coin, if they're bringing out a new 50k coin tomorrow, my approach and advice to anybody getting into it or just looking for advice is, whatever your budget is, if you want to pick up because you love the coin, this means nothing to you, you know, hey ho. But if you want to pick up to flip, you're going to want to do an instant flip. So if you're picking up 5, you may want to flip 3 of them, even 4 of them instantly. So the second you receive them or pre-receive them, how it gets with the royal mint, you're going to want to flip 3 straight off the bat, because you'll get the initial, it could be the best injection of hype, and that way there you get to see it. And then with the remainder, if you're picking up 10 for instance, you can flip 5 immediately. You can then look at a window of 3 to 6 months. I would keep it short, so anywhere within, I'd say 6 to 10 weeks, and then you could maybe see how well it's appreciated. But that's what I'm doing moving forward if I do decide to pick up any of the new silver pieces coming up from the perf mint. But that's what I would say are the best things to look out for as I pop into these boxes that I've had a few deliveries since I've been out of the game, but you know, I'm still picking up, getting them all involved in here. So in the end of the day, I would say it's always going to be, for me, perf mint silver moving forward. They can bring out gold. I'd need to purchase it because it's at a handsome price, but I don't expect anything big from it. My own personal opinions once again, and it's only going to be on the new lower mintage model ones that I'm looking out for, and that I think an individual just getting into this should be also looking out for. Anything too fancy or too random, not to forget we're still talking high mintages here when we're talking about those coins there. So you really just need to really pick. I cannot pick out the coin. I could do a coin of interest, but then it's all going to fall on you. And once again, the best thing to do, I've done well on coins. Individuals have picked up the coins and I found them in the comments constantly complaining that they can't flip the coin. So it's going to work out different for everybody. You know, I personally picked up a coin and it's done fantastic. So it may be where you are located on the planet on how well it sells. So I think the best thing you could do there, especially if you want to get into flipping, because it's great seeing it. You know, you get these opportunities that the mints do where certain dealers may buy back your coins. I know that's a big thing out in America with some of the American mint releases. So that's always a big bonus also. But ultimately, I would say, as I like to see OA numbers, you have to be in it to win it. So as long as you're getting involved and you're in, then you know you're gonna win. But be prepared to take losses. But once we get onto the Royal Mint that I'm talking about now, it could be a little different. So we've seen and heard about these, but as I said, I've been out the game, so just displaying them now. It's different with the Royal Mint. With the Royal Mint, and I would say as of recent, I've been able to also capitalize on the gold as well as the silver. And that's because they also offer a unique benefit, whereas I've spoken before that I think just the name alone from the Royal Mint carries a lot of weight. Now, I'm not saying gold or silver for selling any auction house, but I think they carry a lot of prestige and weight. So when it comes to the gold, you may find individuals may be willing to pay that extra, or it just has such a strong heritage to it. So with the golds, I've been able to really do well. But with the Royal Mint, you have to be that a lot more observant, because the Royal Mint are a big government body, so they produce and release a lot of coins, a lot of themed coins. So any given day they're doing a new release, and it could be themed over a lot of things. And this is what is catching a lot of people off guard, because they've got so many coins out, so people need to know which ones to pick. So once again, I'll just go over the ones that I got involved with that didn't do so well, and the ones I missed out on that did do well, and display the ones that I've got here. So this is the gold 50 years, or 50 for 50 basically. So let's displaying this. Now off the bat, for the last ones that I was involved in that didn't go on to do fantastic was the 2016 Peter Rabbit coin. It caught me off guard, just like this could have caught anybody off guard that was sleeping and you blinked and you missed it. It totally caught me off guard, and before I knew it, it was gone. Seeing the prices do what they do on eBay, and that's the thing with the Royal Mint. You're gonna find anything, even if somebody locks in on them on eBay straight away, and that's what the flippers do. I've had people messaging me talking about flipping this and flipping that and flip you, but in the end of the day, I don't care what they say, and the Mint doesn't care, because it's a first come first serve, and you've got to be in it to win it. It all helps them, that craze and that demand, it all helps. That's part of their drive and their model, creating that. If they wanted and cared about what your feelings and your thoughts, if you're a hardcore devout member and loyalist collector, they would leave or create some type of avenue for you to secure one by all means, and all mints would do that. So what these people whining need to understand is you're part of the machine. You whining helps promote and perpetuate the goods that you didn't get. So focus on that. So you'll find individuals that will put them up straight away for sale, and that's when you may realize how well the coin's doing. The 2016 went on to do that. I've mentioned this story before. So I jumped on board on the 2017, and that flopped. Now, here were the key things here. Now, it's all about mintage, as we all know, but mintages come back to playing a key role, but it's on certain coins. The 2016 Peter Rabbit had a 15k mintage. The 2017 had a 30k mintage. Straight off, that was a fail. I believe that's what made them flop. Now, what we haven't seen from the Royal Mint, for instance, is the 2016 was a 15k. What would have happened if the 2017 was a 15k? We still need to see. I don't know whether they're going to risk that. I mean, the Royal Mail Royal Mint know they have a massive hit on their hands, so they've got two options. Bring another coin out that can have the collectors and the flippers happy come time to resell, or increase the mintage. They may not sell as much, but they may sell 15k straight off the bat, you know, as I keep on mentioning, and that could be good enough for them. They don't mint them all straight away. With the silver proofs I got of these, I have to wait till the end of March. So it makes you think, did you anticipate them not selling so well, or is it part of their model where they, you know, they may double the mintage but only mint 15k, and should they surpass that, it's good enough for them. Regardless of what happens, the mint's always going to be at the upper hand, so they're going to gain regardless. But if for you to gain, advice and tips to look out for is going to be from the previous release. So if the 2016 was on a 15k and the 2017 is on a 30, personally I'm steering clear. The best next example is the Snowman that we have, and when we look at that, we look at it being a brand new one, also on a 15k. But then we have the flop. Prior to the Snowman, I'm not sure if I'm getting this all in chronological order, we had the Paddington. Now the Paddington didn't do so well. Why? Because I believe they had a ridiculous mintage of 75k. So 60,000 in the presentation box, but then 75k altogether. I believe that was way too high. So that was either the Royal Mint believing Paddington was a stronger sell. These are all licensed, so straight away when you're dealing with licensed goods, you know they're going to be paying a premium just to have the badge. But you know, if they can do it 15k for one, they could easily do it 15k for the next. So them going at 75k plus on the Paddington, to me, was a dead stay away. So if you was looking at that, gauging it from their last big success, as anybody can do going on eBay, and that would have been the 2016 Peter Rabbit coin that was damn near selling for £1,000, £700 easily. The 75k is a definite steer clear, you know. And you see a lot of the times as well, when they first bring them out, they'll have a household limit. You know, once you see that disappear, you know they're struggling. And then once you see them still sticking around and sitting about, you also know it's something you want to steer clear from. So seeing the Snowman come out, it being on a 15k mintage straight away was a massive hit. You know, of course, a lot of the times with the Royal Mint, it does funny, you know, I wouldn't say funny, you just need to look a little deeper. It'll be 15k in the presentation packaging, i.e. the boxes, and then they may have a 20k max mintage, but we don't know how the rest of the 20k may come. So it'll be 20k all in all, but that's still not going to make a massive difference, because we saw a lot of clawing back with the Snowman coins that they done that was allocated for who knows what and what knows what. So they do, when they do, let me pull out the COA here again, do what they need to do. So looking at that, these are also good strong signs to look out for, just working off the last best release. So the Snowman, another strong design. You could have taken the Paddington Bear before the Snowman, put it on the 15k mintage, and I believe it would have done a lot better, purely off of the mintage. So you can have a dud coin, so it's really a balance, and a lot of detective work on your end, taking a look at what last performed well. How well do you think, you know, is Paddington better than the Snowman? I'd say it's more popular. I don't know which came out first at the top of my head, but purely off of the mintages, the Snowman went on to do fantastic. I believe the Paddington Gold was like 600, whereas the Snowman was 400. Still, you know, they could have done it a little smaller, but I believe silvers do better on the Royal Mint coins themselves. So working off of that, I would say we have the Gruffalo coming up for the Royal Mint, for anybody interested, something to look out for. The Royal Mint have part of their model as, you know, surprise drops. So you'll have the heads up, not even like any time now. You have the, you know, put your details down for interest or marking your interest, and then they'll just drop. You know, they could do a midnight drop, they could do a first thing in the morning drop. So this is also something, if you're purchasing from the Royal Mint, that you want to take into account. That's what they do. There's no change in that. If you blink, you'll miss it. So you have to be in it to win it. But the most important thing here, I'd say, even from shopping with the Royal Mint, is something I mentioned last time, and that is they do something where you can return with no qualms. So today, now it's better than ever doing that, because if you're able to return the product with no issues, you could find out within 24 hours, within a couple of hours, whether a release is going to be a hit or a miss. If it's a miss and you purchase direct from the mint, I'm going to be showing some of these error coins I got. So another plus of purchasing in bulk off the rip. So this is the normal, the green hat, as many have mentioned, and these are the blue hats that I'll be comparing them by side here. If it's a miss with the Royal Mint, you can send that back, you know, postage free. I believe the US Mint also do that, but I've had issues with them in the past. So that is more of a reason to get involved with the Royal Mints, because they can really yield some fantastic results. Yes, it's below half an ounce of silver. Yes, you may have paid £60 for it, but once it takes off and it's a winner, you know, these are easily trading for £300, £250 all day. Now upwards of £900. You'd need to check and see what they're going for. A lot of the things I'm mentioning here come into play for me. You want to be flipping immediately now. You know, you have your batch that you get rid of instantly to capitalize then, and then you have your batch from mid to long term. That's going to be what I've got left over from mine here. So that's going to be anywhere from 4 to 8 weeks, just to see how well prices appreciate. As I've mentioned, you'll see many people who have had coins in their stack that was once big that are now little. The thing that puts that all out the window and can really change things, as I've mentioned, is these error coins. Variations, dies, whatever. Are they getting crazy? Yes. Did I think they was crazy? I sold quite a few of these blue hats before I realized what they was, or was even onto them. I haven't had my finger on the pulse, as I've mentioned, with the new little one in our lives. But, you know, with these, it adds that added benefit. I think the error coins are coins within their own. They wasn't meant to be variations, and it gives that extra spice of life, you know. Are they being pre-made? As someone's mentioned to me, you know, a funny colour hat. If it was a different mint, Scottsdale or somebody, I would say, yeah, maybe they are manufacturing some type of hype, Pubjoy, and, you know, just creating the error buzz. But for someone as big as Perth and the Royal Mint, I personally wouldn't think that they would do something like that. It was a mistake, and you can really capitalize on mistakes, as we're seeing now with these blue hats. What will I do? These are going for grading for me, and some may be sold raw, but, you know, they're going to be going for a considerably more than the standard. So we have the, I believe it's just 2 colors, so it's either a very light blue or it's clearly blue. So they're going to be green, so you have the blue hat here. But I think these are different. If you're lucky enough to pick up when you're flipping and get one of these, you can hold out and really see, because they're coins within their own right. Well, of course they're coins, but they're in their own category. It's a whole new genre, you know, unless the mint brings out errors every other day. And, you know, people do go crazy for them. It's always a benefit when the grading companies acknowledge them, because that helps you to really lock in on that buck. But hopefully these points and tips have been somewhat of helped you. Moving forward, these are going to be things I'm looking out for. So with the Royal Mint, we have the Gruffalo 50p coming out. There are a few more that individuals know about or may want to put in the comments, but these are things you want to look out for. Always look out for what was the last best thing on the mint, how well it performed, and is this similar. The 50p's, as we all know, do fantastic. So, you know, anything in the 50p, we've had the Tower of London or the last ones that didn't do too well. The mintages weren't the best, and, you know, you can really see, but you're going to be having to do a bit of homework on the sites themselves. If you're just waiting for the release and thinking you can pick it from there, take a look at each release they bring out. You know, even if you're not so interested in it, and see how well it does, because it may be a coin that you may want to be involved in if it does well. And obviously if it does bad, you know the signs to not want to be involved in. But it'd be fantastic if individuals can put in any tips and tricks for anybody getting into the game, or any veterans in the game, in the comments on how you go about picking winning collector coins. These are methods I use moving forward with the Perth Mint. These are the things I'm going to be doing if I'm picking up the silver new collector coins. I'm going to be doing an instant flip, then holding the rest for 4 to 6 weeks. Don't want to be holding too long unless they're error coins, which can only keep on appreciating. Not that the rest ain't appreciating, but the mints constantly having to evolve, need to bring out new models. They brought out one that's putting the heat on their own toes now with the 50 25k mintage. I mean, from there, I've got ideas, good ideas of what they could do, but let's see what they do. And it'll be interesting because as long as we're still flipping or interested in these coins, there's always an opportunity. But this one's gone on for way too long. So guys, please bear with when it comes to me even responding back to some of your comments. As I mentioned, I'm a little tied down, sleepless nights, but go ahead and subscribe if you haven't done so, guys. That would be fantastic. Go ahead and leave anything you have to add to this in the comments. Hate or love it, let me know what you guys think. I'll catch you guys on the rebound.